Former President Barack Obama is in Northwest Arkansas today. He just wrapped up a speaking event at Crystal Bridges in Bentonville. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer was there. She joins us live now, sharing what the former president had to say. Lauren, a lot of people lining up to hear him speak today.
It's been such an exciting day here. Over 700 people packed into a room to hear the conversation between former President Barack Obama and current museum chair here, Olivia Walton. And as soon as the former president took the stage today, he actually joked with the audience, saying he didn't realize it got this cold in Arkansas. Throughout the conversation tonight, the former president touched on everything from what's inspiring him right now, some of the tougher questions like how he defines the American spirit. He described it as each person having the power to pursue what they want, no matter where they begin. He also was asked what patriotism means to him, calling it an unshakable pride, while also acknowledging the nation's flaws. He talked about young people, saying they gave him hope and that bringing them into the democratic process is more important now than ever. He reflected on the political climate we're living in today, but there's a lot of things saying that is giving him hope still.
I think it is true that we are more divided and that our democracy is more unstable than any time in my lifetime, not in American history. I mean, you know, we did have like a civil war and stuff. I mean, there've been some pretty big, you know, breakdowns in the process.
Earlier today, the former president also met with over 400 Arkansas students and teachers, talking about civic engagement and what they want to see the future of the country look like. And now President Obama was the first speaker in a new lecture series here called Building Bridges. And that's quite a way to start things off. 44th president of the United States right here in Bentonville. We're going to have much more on the conversation with President Obama tonight on your 5 News at 10. But for now, I'm live in Bentonville covering news where you live. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
All right, thank you so much, Lauren. And we will be airing former President Obama's speech tonight on 5 News Plus. That will be right after this newscast at 6:30 tonight. You can text the word plus to the number right there at the bottom of your screen for details on how to download 5 News Plus for your smart TV and watch it for free. About 100 Arkansas Army National Guardsmen are leaving for Washington, D.C. tomorrow to support ongoing civil security operations in our nation's capital. There was a send-off ceremony this morning, but weather delayed their departure from Fort Smith until tomorrow morning at 10. The group will rotate in to replace units that have been on duty since August. Officials say their assignments will mirror previous missions, supporting law enforcement with security in high-traffic areas, including the National Mall and metro stations.
At the end of the day, we'll have a call to serve, and we know the mission, and we know when we put the uniform on, there's always a risk, but we're well trained, and we're excited about it, and so it will be great.
The Guardsmen have spent the last several weeks completing administrative processing, medical and dental readiness checks, and mission-specific training. The deployment is expected to last for several months. And this comes less than a week after a deadly attack on National Guard members stationed in our nation's capital. President Trump has invited the family of Sarah Beckstrom to the White House. She's the National Guard member fatally shot in the attack. Her colleague, Andrew Wolf, was also shot and remains in critical condition. A 29-year-old man from Afghanistan who previously worked with the CIA during the war there is now facing a first-degree murder charge in that shooting. Well, it's Cyber Monday, but before you click buy, you should be alert for scammers using the shopping holiday to steal your personal information. So far this year, Americans have reported more than $7 billion of fraud, which is on pace for a record high. CBS's national consumer correspondent, Usher Qureshi, looks at ways you can protect yourself.
So I just experienced credit card fraud for the first time today.
Frustrated victims take to social media.
I realized that someone had purchased $1,000 flights on Southwest using my credit card.
Somebody got a hold of my credit card and did multiple charges, one after the other.
They're part of a growing trend. There are nearly 1.5 million reports of fraud so far this year. That's up from 1.3 million for the same period last year. But the two largest credit card networks say they are investing billions of dollars to fight it.
I'm here at Visa's high-tech cyber fusion center in Virginia for a rare behind-the-scenes look at the fight against fraudsters.
Michael Jabara is the head of fraud services for Visa, the world's largest credit card network with more than $13 trillion in transactions last year.
We need to be able to leverage AI to distinguish the fraudulent needle in the haystack of legitimate activity that runs on our network.
He says his team is especially on high alert on Cyber Monday.
We have seen an increase of over 200% in fraud attempts on Cyber Monday versus a regular shopping day.
When it comes to scams and frauds, what kind of trends are you seeing?
We're seeing heavy targeting of consumers through ads or deals that are too good to be true.
Criminals have gotten better and better.
Haywood Talkov is the CEO of LexisNexis Risk Solutions, which monitors global fraud. He showed us all the personal information available easily for sale on the dark web.
Today, you can get 50 names, date of births, addresses for less than $10.
The number one tip you would have to avoid becoming a victim of a scam?
The simplest thing you can do that will significantly lower your risk is use your credit card.
Talkov says money stolen from debit card or bank transactions is nearly impossible to recover. Also, opt in for account alerts, ignore suspicious emails and texts, and watch out for imposter shopping sites trying to steal your personal information.
So how do you know if you're on a fake website? Well, check the web address for typos like numbers swapped out for letters or vice versa. Also, be wary of clicking on ads on social media. If a deal looks good, go directly to the retailer's app or website and find it yourself. If you do get hit, call your bank or credit card company immediately. Time is critical. Also, file a police report. That can sometimes help you recover your funds.
Following a weekend of holiday shopping, tomorrow has come to be known as Giving Tuesday. The global movement encourages communities to give back to local nonprofit organizations. It's been observed since 2012 and has spread to more than 100 countries. Last year alone, people in the U.S. gave more than $3.5 billion.